guys! Today I am finally going to talk to you about my university experience. I'm going to share with you the truths, the highs, the lows, why I went, what I got out of it, what I would do differently, and any advice that I think would be great for you guys.
It's falling, it's falling. Yes, man!
Nina?
We've done it! We finally handed in after all the stress. And now we can sleep.
No, you're recording me.
Yeah. Now, first of all, who the hell am I? Why should you even listen to me? Well, I have recently just graduated university for computer games arts, and the third year game Perfection actually kind of blew up online for a little bit, which was great, and I have managed to find myself a trainee game design job from it that I will be starting in the new year. So hey, yay me, happy days. But how can you get to where you want to be, and is university the right path for you? Maybe my story can help you, because I'm going to share my top 10 tips that I did and didn't do. Some of them I didn't do and I wish I did do, so you can learn from the things that I didn't do. Okay, so my first tip about university and making the most out of it is don't go. Basically, you don't have to go to university straight away. I didn't go to university straight away, and I will say to everybody, it is probably one of the best decisions I have ever made. Now, of course, this sounds kind of like counteractive, because why wouldn't you just want to get a head start and go to uni straight away, and then you've got your degree under your belt and you can just go out into the world and get a job easy peasy, right? No, you need more than just a piece of paper to get a job, unfortunately. You need life skills and kind of communication, and you need to know people, and you need to like get out there, get out of your comfort zone. And unfortunately, even though university does do some stuff to help you get out of that comfort zone, it also is still wrapped up in the education bubble. So having some life experience first really helps, and not only just helps you in a career sense, but also helps you get to know yourself and what you might want to get out of university, which is vital. The main reason why I didn't go to university was that I didn't know what I wanted to do. I adored film, but I also really loved game development, so I just didn't know what path to take. And then my college at the time said, well, maybe you don't go to uni and you just do an apprenticeship in London instead. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good to me. So essentially, I moved to London. I worked in an advertising company, being a web developer, just like learning how to code and stuff. And it just taught me so much that university could not teach me, just cannot teach you, because I had to move out of my house, out of my hometown, to a whole new city. So you had to learn about like how to find houses, like admin fees and deposits and paying rent on time. You had to learn all of that, let alone, just trying to cook for yourself and buy the right food and then
be at work as well and do a good job and get along with your teammates and work as a team and
all the things. And then I worked for a year after that before realizing my true passion is game development, or creating interactive storytelling mediums. This is not a life story. Why am I rambling? Basically, just find yourself, before you go to university. Find yourself and what you want to do, and then you can make the most out of being at university if you decide that is where would be best for you to go. If you're not too sure, carry on listening to this. So number 2 is know why you're going to university before you go to university. Also, don't worry about your age. Age was a big deal to me, and I don't know why, because I thought I was going to be so much older than everyone else because I'd taken these couple years out. But actually everyone is various ages anyway. Even if you're a few years older or a few years younger, nobody is going to care, because at the end of the day you're just all working together to try and get your deadlines done, to work as a team, to like be friendly, and you're all there because you share a passion in whatever you're studying, which is really freaking lovely. So anyway, yeah, don't worry about the age thing, it's totally fine. Know why you're going. I don't know why I'm clapping, it's so important. A lot of people, I feel, go to university because they think it's the only option, or because it's what like people tell them to do, or just what society deems you should do, right? But times are changing. You don't actually need a degree to do everything. You might need it for some things. I went and did a creative course, computer games arts. I mean, most of that is to do with portfolios and things like that. So you don't necessarily need to go to university, but you need to know, if you are going to go, why are you going? Are you going because you realise that you need more time to learn the skills that you want to learn? If you're working a 9 to 5 job, 5 days a week, you don't have much time? Or is it just the fact that you don't have access to equipment, that you know university is going to give you that access? Or is it because, and this might sound weird, but this was one of my reasons why I went to university, you want to make friends? Because I'd spent so long doing my apprenticeship and grinding my way through London, I kind of hadn't really made any friends around my age or anything. So I just wanted to kind of get back into that friendship environment of being in a university, which is a perfectly valid reason as well, because at the end of the day it's your life. And if you want to go for a reason that might seem silly to others, but it means a lot to you, you know what you want at the end of the day. Trust yourself. So if you have thought about why you might want to go to university and you've decided it is a good idea for you to go, save some money before you get there, because unfortunately nowadays your student loans won't cover much. A lot of my friends, and in my experience, it didn't even cover rent. So it depends on where you're going to university. Some universities are in places where the accommodation and things are just slightly higher. You'll probably have to get yourself a job, but hopefully if you have pre-planned this, it will all work out for you. Number 4, move, 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 move. Do not go to university in your hometown unless you have decided that the course is like amazing and there's no course like it elsewhere, or you have actually moved before and you've already had that experience of being completely out of your comfort bubble. Because like I say, there's so much that you get from like moving out of your hometown and moving away from your family and learning to do everything independently on your own, to feed yourself, to pay your rent. It's life lessons that everybody needs to learn, and the earliest you learn them, the better it will be for you in the long run. And actually university is a really nice safe space for this. It was kind of a step back for me because being thrust into London, I was like, what the hell? And I had to figure out everything on my own, and that was terrifying. And then when I got to university, a lot of people were in the same boat, but a lot of people were in that boat together. So the people who weren't too sure like how to cook a meal for themselves would sit down and cook together and figure it out together, and people that weren't too sure about like how deposits worked or how to find a new house in their second year, they could do that together. So yeah, it was just a lot easier and a lot nicer. Number 5, and this might sound it's like I'm doing number 10. No, number 5. It might sound a little bit weird, this one, but just bear with me here. So right now I've been doing some associate lecturing since I have graduated, and I've been speaking to first year students and things like that that I've been helping teach. And I see this just in a lot of people. I saw it when I was in university. It's that people perhaps have things about their university course that they don't so much like, or they think perhaps could be run better, or they have suggestions or things like that about it, but they don't want to be a nuisance, and they don't want to talk to the course leader or anything like that because they just don't want to be a pain, or they just feel like they don't have a right to kind of say these things. And you know, I'm not saying that you should go in and be all angry and just be like, "Ah, this course is not what I wanted to do." If you had an idea in your head of like what you're going to learn and the way that it was going to be set out and things like that, and then you get there and you realise it's not quite what you imagined, you're within your rights to speak up about that, or even change course if you really want to. I actually did, and I did computer games arts instead, which I'm so glad, because it turns out that is definitely where my passion lies. But I wouldn't have made that decision if it weren't for my parents actually telling me, you've paid £9,000 a year for this course, and if you feel that it's not what you want, or you're not going to get out of it what you need to get out of it, you need to do something about that. It's up to you. It's your money. So you need to sort it out. So I did, luckily, and I switched courses in my second month of university. But honestly, the same goes for you. If you're in university, even if you're in like second or third year, it's not too late. If you think that there's changes that could be made, or you know, there's something that you want to learn that you were under the assumption you were going to learn and you're not learning it, talk to the course leaders. I did that, and they told me exactly what was going to happen. They basically said, no, this course is not going to give you what you need, but this course might. And then I jumped over. It's all great. It doesn't have to be awkward. It doesn't have to be confrontational. It can just be a discussion between two adults, because that's what you are at uni. If you're 18, 35, 22, doesn't matter. You're an adult, and you've paid for this. So I think it's like, it's good to realise that, like, it's not a school anymore, you know? It's not a teacher and a student, it's two adults. You're an adult. It's a scary thought. Like, I'm like, no, I'm 16, no. Number 6. I'm a rambling, ain't I? I'm a rambling. You're paying that £9,000. We've just spoken about that. Horrendous, I know. But you're paying. It's gonna sound really strange, and I'm sorry to say this, but you're not just paying for knowledge, and you can't expect your lecturers to just sit down, hold your hand, and tell you how to do everything. Because one of the major things that you're paying for that you don't even really notice until you're out of university is time. So I know you're gonna be all like, I don't get that much spare time, but you do. But you do, though. I know a lot of it is spent on your course and everything else, but what you're doing for your course, hopefully, is what you love and it's what you're passionate about, and hopefully that you would choose to be doing every single day. It might be slightly, not exactly, because you're working to a brief and to your university standard and like whatever, but ultimately you're probably not going to get this chance again, because then you'll have to get a job afterwards, and unless you get your dream job straight after university, which is not gonna say impossible, but it's unlikely. You're not gonna get this much time to just be working on something that you love. So just bear that in mind and really use that time wisely. So this is me being so real here about university, but you will get annoyed at like the lecturers and stuff like that, just thinking like they're not being able to teach you enough. And I'm not gonna lie, not all of them are perfect, but that's okay, because it's what you make of it. And you might think your university is the only one that is like this, or has like lecturers like that, but unfortunately it will be like that everywhere. You can look around, definitely look around before you even go to university anyway. Use that time and use the people, and just go out and do fun stuff, like explore and make short films just for you, and just take photos just for you and your friends' Instagrams. Like, I don't know, just play around, have fun. Oh, and that leads nicely on to number 7, which is make friends and join societies. So this is one thing that I wish I did more of. I didn't join a society until year 3, and unfortunately year 3 is so hectic. So sorry to anyone who is in 3rd year, because you are under a lot of stress right now, but it's okay, you'll get through it. I trust you, I believe in you, and you can do that dissertation, you got this. I wish I joined a society earlier on. I joined music society in third year, and it was like super fun, but a lot of the time, especially near in the end, I just couldn't even go anymore because it was just too much. It was too much stuff. But this is the time for you to branch out and try every single hobby that you have ever had. Be that like music or dancing or football or, you know, just like absolutely anything. There's probably a society for it, and if there's not, forget, start one, and then you're building up extra skills alongside your course. Also, making friends is just so good because especially in the arts courses like the one that I did, having a lot of friends with different skills helps you a lot. I was known as my friend's course's main actress because I was in pretty much all of their short films. We're set, wait, like turn around. Set is behind us, we're all done up, we've got matching freckles.
Yeah,
So TJ's my brother for this acting.
Do you buy it? Do you buy it?
We look so alike.
Camera.
Roll 2, scene 15, slate 2, take 1. Action.
And they helped me with the game, so they were always playtesting my games, and they were giving me inputs, and if I needed them to help me with photography or anything like that, they were more than up for it. So just make friends, help each other, and have fun. So number 8 ties in with number 6 actually. As I said, you're paying for time as well as knowledge. It's really helpful to always keep thinking beyond your final grade. Like, what is going to happen after university, and how can you use this time now to really make that happen? So I was constantly worried about this, and this is me as a person, I guess. I'm just worrying about the future, like, constantly. But it really helped me because I was able to document like everything that I was doing in university. I made like a tutorial video in first year, which probably isn't that great, but it showed that I knew how to do 3D modeling, or the basics at least. I did art live streams, I did game dev vlogs, I sat down with my team and made videos about how we were going to go from conceptualizing a game to actually making a game, and then I did game dev live streams. And all of this is now saved on my YouTube channel. Hi guys. Today I am here with Tiffany. Hi. And she is the environment designer. Would you say artist or designer?
Environment modeler. Anything.
The environment gal. Which I can use to show potential employers that, hey, I made a game, but I didn't just make a game. I also was a game designer, and I managed a team. This is how we learnt, and this is how I did things, and I have proof of all of that. You don't have to make a YouTube channel, you can just keep a log of it, like make a blog or something like that. Make sure that you're keeping everything in the same place because you don't want to lose it after university. Everything that you're doing now, especially in an arts course, needs to be kept so that you can have a portfolio for when you leave university. And also use that time and go to events. If your university offers free tickets to go to events, which mine did quite often, and a lot of people just didn't go because they were busy with deadlines and things like that, which I totally understand, but it's at these events that you meet your next potential employers or your potential co-workers, like, or you get influence, that's not a word, or you get inspiration from. I guess in a way it's a shame, but it's really true. It is about who you know, and if you can start building up that reputation now while you're learning, it's just gonna be such a great help. And internships. This is going to help you so much on the money front of things as well if you manage to get yourself a paid internship. Some universities will ask you to do this yourself anyway or help you for this, others won't. And I think even if they don't, which mine didn't, you should just look for one yourself. It's just going to be so beneficial, especially if you haven't worked before going to university, because then you can get out of uni and say, I have this degree, but I've also got this experience of working within the industry already. I know it's difficult and it seems at the time like you can only get an internship after uni. If you haven't managed to get one before you finish university, it's not the end of the world, But I would say please at least try to get one, like during uni or during the summer at least. I was so lucky and I got offered one in my second year summer, so just before third year, and it wasn't even in what I wanted to be doing when I got out of university, but I knew that any experience is going to be amazing. It's going to help you so much more than not having one at all, so take it. Okay, number 9, we're nearly there guys. Number 9, I know I've just been rabble. Your grade. Your grade. You're gonna freak out about your grade. I know I did. I was like, I want a first. And guess what I got? I think it was 2 or 3% away from a first, okay? This is my big reveal. Oh, I didn't get a first. I got 2-1. And I was like 2% away from a first. But at the end of the day, just because you've got a first really doesn't mean that you're going to get a job straight away. In fact, some really successful people that I've spoken to barely scraped it with a 2-1 or a 2-2, especially in creative courses. A lot of it is subjective. Personally, so my game Perfection, I'm so freaking happy with the amount of people that gave me so much positive feedback on it. But I'm not gonna lie, my main lecturer, he wasn't that keen on it. And then I did get a first in my dissertation though, which I'm very happy about because I actually really love writing. So yeah, that bumped it up. But I didn't ultimately get a first, but that's okay because then I was like, you know what, screw it. And I took his feedback from the final grade into account. I made some changes and then I put it onto itch.io and then boom, yay! So honestly, if you don't get a first, it's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world. Just make sure you get your degree and make sure you're ticking the boxes. But especially in creative courses, if you feel like it's something that you're truly passionate about and you know that you need to do something, there's probably a reason why you feel that way. You know what I mean if you're a creative type. You know, you get those feelings and you're like, this must be me, this must be done. And just because you don't reach that first does not mean that you're not good enough. It does not mean that you're not going to get a job. It does not mean that you should give up. Number 10, we've made it. We've made it to number 10. You've made it through my rambles. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Enjoy it. Enjoy university. It really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I am so thankful to everyone who gave me the advice to go when I wasn't sure whether I should go or not. Everyone said to me, you're never going to experience anything like university, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, you're on about the parties and the drinking, because I'm not a massive party girl. But it's not just that. Like, honestly, you live with people who become your second family. You're all in the same boat together, whether you have come from a different country, whether you are slightly older, whether you have never left your hometown before. You're all under immense stress, trying to get a good grade, trying to meet your deadlines, but also trying to make new friends and trying to understand a whole new part of your life and trying to come to terms with who you are as a person, who you want to be as a person after university, and forming a bond based on those premises is truly special, and it's something that you will never forget, and hopefully you'll stay friends with those people for a very long time. I know I'm going to try my very hardest to stay in contact with everyone that I live with and that I formed that bond with. And also what I will say to you is keep that university mentality of striving and pushing yourself and getting excited and reaching deadlines and maybe even giving yourself deadlines. I've done that ever since I've left university, and it's helped me a lot. It's helped me to find a job. It's also helped me to finalize things that I perhaps started in university. So I went to a creative uni and I started creative projects with my friends or on my own just because we wanted to, and I took it upon myself to carry those projects on even though I was no longer with those friends that I spoke about the projects to originally, such as my EP, which is coming, and I'm very excited. And also give myself a deadline to find a job, which I actually went beyond, oops, but I found one else, it's okay. Really helped me to stay grounded and to feel positive about the future, because it's very daunting once you leave university. So do keep that mentality of pushing yourself, of working hard, of working towards something, and of thinking about life in the future. So anyway, those were my top 10 tips and probably a few more just kind of like sprinkled in there of how to get the very most out of university if you decide to go, because like I said at the very beginning, it's not the only path to take, but there are many reasons to go to university if you feel it's right for you, and if you take the time to use the time wisely. If you feel like I've missed out on anything that you learned through your time at university or that you're learning in uni right now, then do write them in the comments below, and I wish you the best of luck.
Get my glasses.
What was I saying? I don't know, man. And if you want more advice on anything, let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content, because I'm supposed to say that because that's what every YouTuber says, and I don't know. I'm just gotta, yeah. Okay. Have a lovely day or evening. Bye!
Like, I genuinely can't even, like, if I were to try it right now.
Go on.
Yeah, but you're wearing jeans.
Yeah, okay.
No, but they're like, is my boot game stuck right now? But it's starting to
Try and
hurt
put your
a lot.
toes-
Like, it's starting to hurt
Try and
a
put your
lot.
toes to the ceiling.
My God!
Yeah.